We worked in the bank for 11 months. Job ikaisha. I think this is where now depression, unajua depression ikikuja, it doesn't just come at once. Inakujanga kama dose, unaona? Remember account zangu, my accounts were frozen with everything and anything in it. At this point, I was married, but it was on a come we stay basis. I lose my job today. After a week or two, my wife tells me she's expectant. I have no money. Sijalipa rent. So this is where now things came crashing for me, physically and psychologically. One night I was seated and she came to me and said, I cannot live with you anymore. I cannot live like this. I told him, where now? I remember asking her, are you leaving me because I have no job? She said, that's not the reason. And that's here now you are forgetting that you are pregnant. Do you know what she told me? Are your body litoka? But I later came to learn that she actually aborted that child. And that was not only the problem. She terminated the pregnancy and got married immediately. I went to a chemist and I remember the lady, I told her, she asked me what my problem is. So I faked my symptoms. Yeah. So akanipatia dawa. That's where I stopped trusting these pharmacies and chemists. I wasn't sick, I was just depressed. Yeah. So nilienda nikapewa madawa. There was this sachet full of like 10 or 8 capsules. They were like 4. And then I was given some Piriton. I was given dawa zingine mingi. I think there was I don't remember. So I bought nikanunua soda ndogo, Fanta orange. I went back to my house. That was very at night. So hizi capsules nilikuwa natoa na mwaga kwa kikombe. Hizi tablets na bonda. Unaona? Kaza kwa kikombe, then nikachukua soda ya Fanta. Nikamwaga ndani. Ikajaa, kakoroga vizuri. Kasema this is the day. And I remember I told God, I've been through a lot since childhood. So this is like the final. Yeah, this is how far it goes. I don't want to live this life again. So nilichukua na nikaikunywa, nikapiga flash na nikalala. So after kuchukua hiyo poison, nikalala. I remember by my back. I could see unayo nyumba ni kama ilikuwa inazunguka. Alafu nilikuwa nasikia kunywa sumu, nimekula miraa, mogoka na sina kitu kwa tumbo. Yeah. So my tumbo ni kama it was burning. So nikajaribu kuamka na nikaanguka. So nikakaa tu kwa kitanda, nikakaa hivi na nikalala. By my back tu nikasema it's over. Trust me, I didn't die. I was sweating. I woke up, the whole mattress was wet with sweat. But I remember feeling very hungry.
Hello guys, a warm welcome to the platform. This is Angaza 254 with your host Kashi. If you're new here, kindly consider subscribing. The guest of the show today is a man who has lived with depression close to 8 years with 4 suicidal attempts. We want to welcome him to the show, of course, tell us a little bit of his story and his depression journey. Hello.
Yes, hello.
You can say hi to our audience.
Hi audience.
Yes, introduce yourself a little bit.
Yes, my name is Lugendo Ronald Roni Obiba. I was born in Busia County, Budalangi, village called Mundika, but I was raised here in Nairobi, in Huruma Estate. I started school, Saradi 1 in 1995. So when I reached class 5, I experienced financial problems in terms of fee payment. My dad worked as a machine operator at Chandaria Industries. My mom used to sell maize, roasted maize by the roadside, and groundnuts. And I remember I could also join her in that, supporting her in that business. My mom also sold local brew, that is changa, and another one, the Moratina of Waluya, let me call it like that way. So she did this business to supplement our income. So I remember when I was joining class 5, my elder brother was joining Form 2 at Otieno Yo High School, and my elder sister was joining Form 1 at Mogra Star Academy, a school situated in Madare North. My dad, being a machine operator, he couldn't actually fully support us in our academics. So most of the time I used to stay at home, but at the mercy of my former teachers. They could recall me back to school, but fortunately every time this happens, they lose their job. There were 3. They lose their jobs, and I could go and I go back home. So I remember I never actually attended a class 6 class, but I remember my class 7 was not that good, and so I joined in 2002, the year when I was supposed to do my KCPE. I joined a school in Kariobangi, known as Kariobangi Youth Center. In that school, I was sharing a class with 2 class 6 pupils and another class 5 pupil.
Because the class was too small or something? No,
the pupils were very, very few. We were not even 50 or 30. So with time, the teachers at that school actually promoted me to class 8 because they said that they need someone to boost their performance so that they could also sell their school to other potential pupils or parents. So I joined class 8 and actually registered for exams. But in 2002, there were clashes in Kariobangi between the Mongiki and the Taliban. In fact, it was clashes between the Luos and the Kikuyus. So you can imagine coming all the way from Uruma, going to Kariobangi in the morning, meeting dead bodies on the road. People are being hacked to death. Remember, you're a small child, that scene. But also, that was not also the problem. The other problem was my classmates were children in crime. Someone could come to class, open their bags. You could see guns. Was I afraid? No. Was I scared? No. Because in those part of the country, that is like the norm of the day. You just get used to that. So I told my father about this, and I was transferred to another school. But being transferred to that school, I had to go back to class 7.
And you were in class 8 when you were being transferred?
Yeah, I was promoted at Kariobangi class 8, so I had to go back to class 7. So I think that was in second term. There I was doing very well academically. In fact, my academics were improving day by day. In fact, teachers also there really loved me a lot. But when now the time for the exam came, so one of the teacher who recommended me to Kariobangi came to our house and told my dad, you see, allow him to do this exam, but at least even if he fails, at least he has another chance because he technically is in class 7, but he's going to do his KCP. I did my KCP, but I didn't pass. Considering my standards, I failed. But my dad, my brothers, and my sisters encouraged me and told me, despite you not being in school for a very long time, for all those years, at least this is commendable. This is commendable. So I joined Form 1. That was in 2003. I joined Mogra Star Academy. I joined my sister. My sister was in Form 4. I was in Form 1. I remember in Form 1, I did very well. So in Form 2, I think that is where now I started what you call self-actualization. I've been through a lot. I'm still going through a lot. Whenever I go home asking for, I need a new pair of shoes, inakuwa ni story like hata sisi kwetu time zetu tulitembelea mguu tupu. You can imagine being told kitu kayo na mzazi wako. So I met friends, 2 friends. They introduced me to this life of crime. I remember there was this time we went to Nyanza House Club, and at around 3 a.m. we came out of the club, went to along Tomboya Street. We met a Muindi. He was very drunk in his car. It was a saloon car, talking rubbish. So we robbed him. 70,000 shillings. 2004, 70,000 shillings. That was a lot of money. And this money, trust me, it was for kunywa, unaona, klabu, unaingia klabu na ununua kreti, unakanyaga hivi. Beer was 70 shillings. Guinness was 70 bob by at that time. Unakanyaga kreti hivi, unasema kweli, unaona, maisha Ulaya. So in 2005 I was transferred to a school in Siaya, Nyagondo Mixed Secondary School. But I wasn't transferred because people back, my dad, my brothers, people knew that I was into crime. That is something that nobody knew. In fact, I was a role model hapo Huruma. Mtoto mwerevu, mtoto kwa watu wanaendanga university. It was fun. So nilikuwa transferred to Siaya. So that is where I did my in Siaya. Nyagondo is a day school. So I used to live with the principal of the school. It's my uncle. A very strict disciplinarian. May God, Mungu bless him wherever he is. He's a good man. His name is Robert Msolo. He's a very good man. He's now retired. Yeah, he has helped a lot of people in our village. So I did my KCSE for the first time in 2006. I missed the university cut-off point by 1 mark because when I was there, actually education was not. Nilikuwa nataka nimalize shule nirudi kushika bunduki, unaona, nitengeneze pesa haraka. I become rich. I didn't want that poverty imesumbua kwetu pia mimi nisumbue. So I did my KCSE, missed the university cut-off point by 1 mark. So my dad recommended me to join the army. Yeah, in fact, I was very excited to be a soldier. Yeah, so as days went by, I was supposed to go for recruitment. My principal, my uncle, called my dad and told my dad, give that boy the phone. Do you want to repeat? Nikajamaza. Say it now or I give this chance to someone else. I want you to repeat. Ngambia, it's okay, I'm coming. So the following day, nikaenda nikafanya tena KCSE. I passed by there. Then nikaenda after a year nyumbani. In 2009, 2008 I was at home. 2008 I worked at Chandaria as a casual laborer. I worked with my dad. So in 2009 I joined Moi University in Eldoret, main campus. So nikiwa fresher, hiyo mwaka ilikuwa mzuri sana. So when I was to join second year, my dad retired. In fact, it was forced retirement. So like I told you, my dad used to live off loans to support us academically and also at home. So when he retired, he never had a very big or lucrative retirement package. So, but he had enough for himself and my mom. So second year also kinda smooth, but second semester, that is where now depression started sinking in. I used to go to school, no money. In fact, ningepewa 1,000 to kutumia like the whole month. No, sorry, a whole semester. Yeah. No, it is 1,000 a month because a semester has 3 months. This is pesa kidogo sana. So this is when I started asking myself, what is happening to me? My brother went to school, my elder sister wamesoma vizuri. How come the Lugendo why me, you know, those questions. So after my second year I contemplated leaving school, kuachana na shule kabisa, look for something to do so that hiyo aibu uko shule una pesa, unaona. Okay, campus is always challenging, especially if you are broke. Yeah, so I had a friend who was my roommate since second year. His name is Martin. So he's the one who was encouraging me, just come, whatever I'll eat, you'll eat, we'll share, whatever you have, we'll share. So third year, but fourth year now came where I said, now enough is enough. I stopped going to school. I could only go to school during exams. So, but in the second semester, which is my final semester, I just said that I'm no longer going to school. But Martin, very disturbed boy, yani he never just gives up, because he has never given up to date. He has never given up on me. He could come, take me to school. In fact, in fourth year I never had a room. I used to share a room with Martin. So imagine, kitanda ni moja, so nisonge nilale a whole semester. That is fourth year, second semester. But I'm glad I graduated. I graduated with the second class honors upper division. By this time, from third year, okay, I used to take alcohol, but from third year to fourth year, and after fourth year, I turned into an inveterate drunkard, or we just call a DDO. Mimi ningekaa kwa bar from morning until 3 a.m. in the morning.
Where are you getting the money from?
I had a friend who worked in a law firm, so I used to support him. He used to deal with the land registries. So akienda Nakuru, mimi ananituma Thika. Sasa zingine natumwa Sia. Unajua ni kazi ilikuwa na pesa. So yeye pia alikuwa mlevi. So after kazi, ama kama ana kazi, nilikuwa nashinda naye like the whole day. So tulikuwa tunashinda tu like literally kwa bar. Unaona? Yeah. So maneno kafika nyumbani, my dad tried, I used to deny it. Hapana, hiyo tu ni watu wananionea, me I'm fine. Alafu pia I realized health yangu pia ilikuwa inapungua. But I wasn't drinking because I loved drinking. I think this is where now depression ikikuja, it doesn't just come at once. Inakujanga kama dose, unaona. So actually something happened strange, that there's an uncle who I've never met. An uncle of mine mwenye alitoroka nyumbani very many years ago, unaona. He's now a pastor at Nairobi Lighthouse. So he met my dad and told my dad that I know you have a daughter who has graduated and I have a chance somewhere. My dad told him, no, my daughter is true, she graduated, but she already has a job. But I have a son who just graduated. That was in 2013. I graduated in July. Who just graduated this July, and I think he's the one who is looking for a job. So I talked to him. I actually got a job in a bank. I worked in the bank for 11 months. Job ikaisha.
How? Maybe you can go into details.
There's not much to say. I just woke up one morning and I was told this and this has happened. It was integrity issues. Customer lost money, so it came down on me, and I was scared. Remember that morning, I was very scared. I didn't know what to do. I was confused. So I was supposed to be taken to head office, but nilihepa. Nikaenda nikarudi nyumbani. Remember account zangu, my accounts were frozen with everything and anything in it. At this point, I was married, but it was on a come we stay basis. I lose my job today. After a week or two, my wife tells me she's expectant. I have no money. Sijalipa rent. So this is where now things came crashing for me, physically and psychologically. I remember I could stay in the house like from Sunday to Sunday. I couldn't move out. I only went out because the toilets we were using zilikuwa za nje. I only used to go out doing my long calls. Short call, ningechukua hizi polythene bag, the black polythene bag, pee on them, funga vizuri, tupa kwa dustbin hapo.
Where was your wife at this time?
At this time alikuwa anakuja asubuhi, alikuwa anakuja usiku, anatoka asubuhi anarudi jioni.
She was working by then?
Nope, she was no, she wasn't working. She was young. She was 19 then. So it came a point where one night I was seated and she came to me and said, I cannot live with you anymore. I cannot live like this. I told him, now I remember asking her, are you leaving me because I have no job? And she said, that's not the reason. And that's here now you are forgetting that you are pregnant. Do you know what she told me? That your body litoka. But I later came to learn that from her neighbors where my mom used to live. Actually, I met this girl through my in-law. Walikuwa majirani na ndugu yangu walikuwa ameoa. So hapo niliwajua. So I got this information later that she actually aborted that child.
Maybe you can tell us how old was the pregnancy?
I think it was 1 month and so. I think it wasn't something that you could see.
How long did you live together?
Since the beginning of 2015. Yeah, that's 3
years before.
I met her in 2015. I lost my job in 2015. Yeah, I was employed in 2014 September, so I lost my job in 2015 August, and that is 11 months. Yeah. So the fact that happened after realizing that she actually how do I put it? She terminated the pregnancy on her own will. Then that was not only the problem. She terminated the pregnancy and got married immediately.
Immediately is like 1 month or 2 months?
No. I think the boyfriend, I think that was one of the conditions. I cannot,
Yeah. So you said you met her in 2015.
Yeah.
And she was 19 years when she was pregnant.
I met her when she was 19 years. Yeah. By then I was 27 or 28, I think. So that is when now things came crumbling down psychologically. I remember I could go for days without eating. But again, this Martin would come, send me money, come bring me food stuff. Ngaletea mandizi zikaya hapo ziharibike. I did not care. In fact, ilifika mahali my house was full of cockroaches. I didn't care. I lived like literally with the cockroaches everywhere. I remember when I was working, I was 82 kilograms. So within a span of around I think 3 months, I was 59 kilograms. That was my weight. I looked pale, I looked thin, emaciated, and very sick. So you see, people started saying that, I want to clear those who know me. People started saying that I'm actually HIV positive. because when I was working, I was very reckless. Even when I was married, I don't tell you that I was a faithful husband. I was a drunk. I was a drunk. I was. How do I say I was amorous? Yani mtu anapenda wanawake. How do I put it? That was my kind of lifestyle. No. Multiple women and all that. So people, I want to clear the camera. People started saying that now it's HIV that is eating me up. My friends, I'm okay. I'm HIV negative. I'm not sick. So there was this point where I lost it, and there's one morning I woke up very early at around 4:30 a.m. Because at this point now friends had started talking rubbish. People that were so close to me left. People that I thought would help me in my times of trouble. People that I was there for couldn't reciprocate the same. So this morning I woke up and went to Thika Road along GSU. Kuna hapo Allsops. There's a bridge that connects Allsops and the GSU. So I was there waiting for a trailer to come from the other side, time it, then jump. At least nikifika chini it will run over me. But there was this then came again this woman. There's a woman who was carrying chondo. She looked at me and told me, it's like she started like speaking in rebuking me with the high tone. That voice. Yeah. Actually got embarrassed and went back to my house. So I remained there like for 2 days, not eating anything. The second time I went to the balcony where I used
after a period of how many months after the first incident?
No, you're not talking about months. You're talking about days or weeks. I cannot remember. I was too stressed up. I cannot actually give, but it was a period of days. This was the time when I was feeling like, why don't I just die? No. Yeah. So I went to the balcony. The building I was staying, it was a story building up to 3rd floor. So I climbed up to 3rd floor very early in the morning. It was still dark. So I went to the balcony and stood there. And I looked down. But again, something came and told me, what if I jump? I break my spine, being confined in a wheelchair. That would be more painful because I needed somewhere higher. So I went back to sleep. And then I remember going into my phone, started Googling a painless way to die. So I thought of a jiko. My house was good, or had good ventilation. Plus I had no jiko. I only had a stove and a gas cooker. So there was this time Martin, he sent me around 600 or 700. Then I stayed. I went to Kiamaiko. Nilikuwa nakula miraa sana, muguka na pombe. So nikakula miraa, kwa pombe nikavuta bangi, nikajua sasa niko autopilot. So nilienda kwa chemist. Trust me, nilikuwa nikikuja kukuongelesha, ungesema ukijana ni mgonjwa. Just by appearance. So I went to a chemist and I remember the lady, I told her, she asked me what my problem is. So I faked my symptoms. Yeah. So akanipatia dawa. That's where I stopped trusting these pharmacies and chemists. I wasn't sick, I was just depressed. Yeah. So nilienda nikapewa madawa. There was this sachet full of like 10 or 8 capsules. They were like 4. And then I was given some Piriton. I was given dawa zingine mingi. I think there was I don't remember. So I bought nikanunua soda ndogo, Fanta orange. I went back to my house. That was at night. So hizi capsules nilikuwa natoa na mwaga kwa kikombe, hizi tablets na bonda. Unaona? Kaza kwa kikombe, then nikachukua soda ya Fanta. Nikamwaga ndani. Ikajaa, kakoroga vizuri. Kasema this is the day. And I remember I told God I've been through a lot since childhood. So this is like the final. Yeah, this is how far it goes. I don't want to live this life again. So nilichukua na nikaikunywa, piga flash na nikalala.
This was the time that you were writing the Facebook post.
No, by that time I had written like 2.
So every time you were trying to commit suicide, you wrote a...
Yeah, I used to...
Made a post.
Yeah, I used to tell people... In fact, the first time I called Martin and I told Martin, I texted him, I think, and I called him and I told him, this is the end. Please don't miss my burial.
Did you see it at that time?
No, Martin knew I was serious. He actually knew I was serious. After that message or that phone call, alikuwa ananipigia simu kila saa. So after kuchukua hiyo poison, nikalala. I remember by my back. I could see unayo nyumba ni kama ilikuwa inazunguka. Alafu nilikuwa nasikia kunywa sumu, nimekula miraa, mogoka na sina kitu kwa tumbo. Yeah. So my tumbo ni kama it was burning. So nikajaribu kuamka na nikaanguka. So nikakaa tu kwa kitanda, nikakaa hivi na nikalala. By my back tu nikasema it's over. Trust me, I didn't die. I was sweating. I woke up, the whole mattress was wet with sweat. But I remember feeling very hungry. So I went and sent a kid buy for me soda na kangumu hapo. So I stayed in this house for 6 months without paying. I had no money. The landlady was she's a good woman. She understood, so I finally moved out of that place in January 2016. I went to stay with my cousin. I remember kajaribu kuchukua kamba, but it just couldn't work. So through a mutual friend of me and Martin, I met a lady and she recommended the therapy, counseling.
So a little bit, maybe before when a suicide attempt failed, did you go to the Facebook app or your Facebook and delete the post that you made?
Yeah, most of the posts I think they are no longer there.
Mm-hmm. So in the comments, were you going through the comments so people didn't take time on the game?
People, not even comments, inbox. People were concerned, trust me. People were very much concerned. People were very, very much concerned. Why should I feel guilty? Why would I feel guilty? There's nothing these people could do to help me. All they could do is like emojis, tears, sad. You see, that is the society we live on today. I could reach out to them. It's one excuse after the other. Someone who could just call you and tell you, here is the job, here is the offer letter. One excuse after the other, year after year. So there was this time in 2017, I got I had applied in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So I was called in there. There's someone who knew someone. So I took my papers, but I wasn't called because after months I was told that I needed to part with 100,000. But I just imagine, you could have told me this thing earlier. At least I know my dad that I know would have even sold his cattle or his shamba for me to get that job. So the second job I applied for was a company called CCIC. I applied for a job there as an administrative clerk and inspector. I did all the 3 interviews successfully. I was offered the position. I was told, hey Ronnie, I think they offered me the job because I could speak Mandarin. Yeah. So they offered me the position. And they told me, in 2 weeks' time, we'll call you we'll train you first for this job. The company dealt with the export and imports to and from China. So I was very excited because this job would have allowed me the opportunity to travel to China, South Africa, and Nigeria. That's where the offices are. The then minister for, is it industrialization or should I mention his name? I don't know. Peter Munya. He closed down the company 2 weeks before. You see, you have the job, now you are waiting to report. Then the company was closed down. I was like, Minister of Foreign Affairs, now this.
So his reason what?
There were reasons like they allowed counterfeit goods into the country. Their inspection was not. If you go to Google, just Google CCIC, China certification. That story is there. Yeah, that story is there. So this got me depressed. So in 2018, I remember during the World Cup, Brazil was playing Belgium. Brazil was knocked out by Belgium 2-0. That day, there's a job I had done, and I was paid around 18,000. I took the money and kenda kulewa. So nikiwa kwa bar, unajua nalewa lakini nina depression. So nikatoka nje ya bar. Kwa hiyo bar there were these people saying, "Damende na kunguni," walikuwa wanauza like usiku mzima. "Damende na kunguni utaona penye na mimi," like those people. So I looked at it and said, now this is the time. This is the day. I'm not going back to hiyo kazi. Me, I want to end it all today.
So which job is that you were to go to?
Nilikuwa nafanya kazi na company that was that worked like Uber, but it's not Uber. It was a company that gave opportunities to potential employers, connecting employers to their clients. It was called Ajira Connect. Ajira Connect. There's that app, Ajira Connect. So we were doing enumeration. So when I was paid my first salary, nikaenda kwa bar, nikakunywa. So nikanunua dawa ya kunguni, nakale kachupa kadogo. So nikaenda kwa mfuko, nikaenda kwa hiyo bar. Then the waiter that was serving me that time was a lady that I had history with. So nikakunywa. So at that point nilikuwa na a very old phone. Ilikuwa kasimuka button. Ilikuwa shikanisho na sellotape, something like that. So nilikuwa kwenda Facebook. My friend, I was drunk. So nikamwomba simu yake. Sina simu yako, iko na bundles I remember I just bid goodbye to this cruel world.
Why did you feel like you had to post before every suicide?
At least you don't live somewhere without saying goodbye. So that is where chukua chupa ya kwanza yenye nilikuwa nakunywa, na hiyo nyingine nikabook room kwa hiyo hoteli, kwa hiyo bar, it was bar na lodging hapo. So nikaenda nikachukua hiyo sumu, nikaweka hii chupa nilikuwa nimefungua, nikamwaga ndani, ilikuwa na bia kidogo, ingine nikafungua, nikajaza. So that lady came and knocked at the door. I think she saw the post. Wait, she used to call me Mdhamini fungua. I think hiyo kubishana I blacked out. That was it. So in the morning nikakaa nikajiuliza, does death hate me that much? Does death hate me that much that imekataa kuwa rafiki yangu? So that is when I started counseling. I told you I started counseling. I was booked at Befrienders. It is in Upper Hill. It's called the African Mental Health Foundation, also known as Befrienders. I was given a counselor. He was a white guy. His name is George Butonoa. He's from Norway, I think. He was very helpful. I used to go for counseling every Wednesday, and finally he conducted what we call a pH test. If you've gone through mental, there's what we call a pH test. pH test is where they to determine the level of your level of depression, whether it is mild, acute, or severe. So I was officially diagnosed with severe depression. So I left Huruma, I went to Kawa West. I got a job there as a rent collector. I left the job, went back to Huruma. Again, at this point, unaona nikiwa sina kazi, nataka kazi, but nikiwa na hiyo kazi, siitaki tena. I couldn't work somewhere more than a month. That was because I just lost interest. But sasa sina kazi, ningeweza hata kukusumbua, nataka kazi. So that was my life. So in 2019, while I was in Kawa West, I did something terrible. I did something terrible, and I ran. Nikaenda nyumbani. So I thought that I would find peace nyumbani, but I didn't.
How terrible was it?
Being reminded uko by family, umesoma, unaolima na sisi hapa, tunachimba mtaro na wewe, tunafieka na wewe, unaona. Alafu again unarudi nyumbani, mzazi anakuambia, reminds you that you are jobless, unaona, that you are jobless and useless.
Now which side of the parent, the dad or the mom?
The mom. My dad has been very supportive. So in last year, nilienda nyumbani 2020 January 6th. So last year, after all this, when I was nikiwa nyumbani, I decided to join kuokoka, yani kaingia kanisa, kaza kuomba. Nilikuwa naomba kwa kanisa inaitwa God's Last Appeal Church. That's it's a Sabbath church, also known as Luong Mogik. The people know it as Luong Mogik. So nikajoin hiyo kanisa, then nikakuja tena nikaacha, nikarudi kwa ulevi. Nyumbani unajua pombe ni cheap. Nikarudi kwa ulevi, bangi. Nilikuwa nakaa mahali pa bangi like kuanzia asubuhi hadi jioni. So last year nika nyumbani hizo miaka zote. So last year with all that depression and I developed insomnia in 2017. Like me, I don't sleep. Tutakaa na wewe, tuone movie, ulale, uamke upate nimeamka asubuhi bado naona nakuangalia hivi. I mean, like literally I don't sleep. If I sleep like for an hour and a half or an hour. Till now I don't sleep.
By 2017, when you developed insomnia, you were still undergoing therapy?
No, I started undergoing therapy in 2018, I think. 2018. Yeah, something. So, until mpaka leo, my insomnia has never been cured. So, kaka nyumbani, then last year, April, I came for an interview here in Nairobi. Then on reaching Nairobi, that interview was cancelled. Nilifika tu hivi cancel your interview.
Reason being?
I don't know that it has been cancelled. We will just communicate with later. Until now bado hajai communicate. So
last year, you mean last year 2022?
Last year of 2022.
Okay.
So niliporudi nyumbani, something happened. Now this is where now I almost hanged myself. Not almost. I was actually going to hang myself.
Which are we talking talking about 2022?
I'm talking of last year during the nominations.
Oh, August.
April nomination, not the general election, the nominations. Okay. So I traveled back to the village from that collapsed or failed interview. When I fika nyumbani, I met my brother had reunited with his wife and kids, and my younger sister was also there with my nephew. So nilikuwa nimekaa kwa okay, there's something I've told you. Nilitoka kwa hiyo boma kitambo sana. Nilifukuzwa yani. Yeah, wewe unasema tu hivyo, nilifukuzwa na pia mimi nikajifukuza. It's as simple as that. Yeah. No, what happened is I used to sleep in one of my late grandfather's house. Then one day one of my uncle came and told me without notice, without anything, just morning. For hiyo morning nilikuwa enda church. That Saturday morning nilikuwa enda church. Just toka niko nyumba inabomolewa. Just like that.
Ilikuwa inabomolewa in real sense. But it was just a term he used.
Ilibomolewa after mimi kutoka. So mtu atapea mtu notice. So hiyo kitu ilifanya I started now being consumed with anger and bitterness towards against anyone and everybody kwa hiyo boma yetu. So nikatoka interview nikaenda nyumbani. I was there, sindio? So one afternoon, I think it was around lunchtime, between around 2 hapo, nilikuwa nimekaa nikaletewa chakula. Nikakula nikamaliza, nikachukua vyombo hizo sahani I think zote ya ugali na mboga ilikuwa mboga na hizi nyama ya ndege yani. Kachukua nikapeleka kwa ndoo tunakanga vyombo chafu. My brother's kids were there, walikuwa nakula. So mama venye alikuja akapata alipata vyombo kwa meza. So akassume ni za. Akaanza kelele. Hapa kuna maid wa mtu. Hapa kuna maid wa mtu. Kwa kufanyia kazi, kuna tunatusaidia nayo. Horo tunataka kwa hii nyumba. So ilianza tu polepole kamwambia hizo vyombo si zangu. Ni zangu ndo alikuwa amekulia. Mimi zangu ndo hizo hata nimeziweka hapa kwa ndoo. Hata unaona sasa akaanza kuja juu.
By this time you were around 30. You were around 30 years.
I'm talking of last year.
Miaka ni ngapi by then?
Right now. Last year I was 35. So wewe na hiyo miaka yako bado unaona sasa unajua this is someone mtu mwenye ako depressed. Then hizo vitu the problem with our education, akunanga topic like depression in our schools. Yeah. You only learn it in the university. Ukifanya psychology, sociology, something like that, sindio? Or counseling, unaona. So mtu ngana venye unakaa, kuna tunaleta kwa hii nyumba, tunakulisha, unaona. Wewe venye wewe mtu mkubwa. So hizo vitu zikaanza then kitu liniudhi ni naambia sisi vyombo ni zenyu. Hao watoto wanakuba. Na mbesi wamekubali bado unaona bado. So nikaona hizi vitu umekuwa ukiniambianga, trust me, for the second time niliendea kisu. So hata maeda brother akaanza kusupport, akaanza kuniambia una miaka ngapi, unalishwa na mama yako? I was like even hata pia unaweza ongea. Okay, there are things about my brother I cannot say them up live because nikisema hata pia wewe unaweza ongea. So they called my dad. Before they calling my dad, walichukua like nguo zangu zilikuwa kwa nyumba yetu, wakazimwaga hapo nje kwa karibu na pale ng'ombe ulala. Nikasema hizi sizichukui, tutazikae hapo. So venye walipigia dad ndo alikuja akazichukua akazirudi. Akasema this is also my son. Said dad pia akasema sasa Joana kazi, that's why you are treating him like this, kama takataka. So nikachukua hiyo bag, nikachukua nguo zangu, nikaona hizi ng'ombe hizo ng'ombe mimi ndo nilikuwa mara mingi ndo nilikuwa shindanga na, so hizo ng'ombe zilikuwa zinanijua, so nikasema acha niende mahali tu nitulie, nenda nivute bangi, then usiku hii ndama iko hapa kuchukua ikamba, then plus mimi ulala naenda so nilitoka nikaenda kwa market center. So the person that I met there was the person who introduced me to church. So akaniangalia akaniuliza, kwani unakaa depressed nini mbaya? I had to open up to him. Akaniambia hapana, huko urudi. Kwa sababu pia alikuwa anajua the time, alikuwa anajua nina history ya kutaka kujiua. Akaniambia twende ukaishi kwa kanisa. So from last year mwezi wa 4 nilikuwa naishi kwa kanisa.
You've moved from Ushago sasa? From
our boma. Nenda kuishi sasa, was living hiyo kanisa iko nyumbani Ushago tu, in the next village. So nilikuwa nakaa ndani ya kanisa. Nobody knew apart from my dad. Na the church members walikuwa wanajua mimi naishi kwa kanisa. So nilikuwa nakaa hapo, that is where now nikaanza kuona the power in praying, unaona? So hapo nikaanza kuona pia mawazo yanatulia. So nikapata kazi huko Nairobi, Tawala, ya kushona vikoi. So ndo nikaenda huko nikafanya like 2 months, then I was released. Yeah, because productivity yangu ilikuwa chini. So I went to stay with my younger brother in Mala. Hapo pia isiyo, unaona, in short naweza sema kile nilikuwa na experience nyumbani kupitia mom. Brother yangu pia mdogo pia kaiwe. Unaona? So ikafika mahali asubuhi ananiambia ati nataka kukutafutia fare urudi nyumbani uende ungoje, kuna kazi nilikuwa na ngoja, a job. That's my ananiambia nataka kukutafutia fare urudi nyumbani ungoje kazi huko. Nenda nyumbani. Okay, nyumbani nikienda naenda wapi? Nikamwangalia kanyamaza. So nikiwa hapo I was so depressed. Question was nitaenda, where will I go? Where do I go from there? No.
Let me ask, maybe this time that you feel that your family is neglecting you, how was your relationship by the time you were working? Were they like, Roni, hapa ni maisha unaishi hatutaki? How was the situation at home when you were working?
I was the darling of the family. I can tell you. My elder brother, my elder brother, ali blacklist my parents. They could. I remember aliwa blacklist hata mimi nikiwa college. Unaona? He was working, he was married. He was a teacher. But they could call. Alafu unajua mzazi alikuwa ananipigia. Mimi ndio walikuwa ananipigia simu. Brother yako alichukuangi. Niambia labda na stress, wachane na yeye msimsumbue. Unaona? So mimi si niko kampo. Okay, Nairobi nilikuwa naishi maisha ya kusurvive juu my dad hayuko, brother yangu ameoa. No, so nilikuwa naishi maisha hivi. So ile pesa nilikuwa napata hata kama 200 natuma nyumba. So when nilipata kazi, in fact it made them happy. Because okay, si kujipiga kifua. Mimi sikuzaliwa mchoyo. I'm this person that utakuja uniambie sijalala, yani hata kama unanidanganya, hata kama unajua unanidanganya, but kuna kale ka huruma nitakuwa nayo kama nakusaidia mimi sikuwa na mkono. Yeah, I was a giver. I cannot say that I'm a giver now, but I was a giver then. My family, in fact mimi ningepata mshahara, first people I could call are my parents, all of them. Rusha huku. My elder brother hakuwa anaongea na wazazi wangu. He never even, you couldn't even pick their phone call.
Did you already know the reason?
I don't know. I've never, he has never told us the reason. So alikuja akapata kazi nyumbani as a manager in cooperative society. So now you see we've swapped roles. So he's the darling. So that's why mimi jobless lazima. So I was in my brother's, ndio. So nikiwa that was in January. See, we are in March. Yeah. This January I was there. So after akaniambia ati nataka tutafutie fare nirudi nyumbani. So immediately nikajua hizi ni msheneza kutoka kutoka home, especially exactly. And my sisters also pia, my elder sister and my because what I did, okay, mom ni shame, the first time nilimbeba shoka, dada ka intervene. So this year kiss ilikuwa the second time. Because
how was your dad taking it? Alikuwa anakupata in the act?
No, the first time my dad alikuwa anaongelesha mbaya, my dad was just seated there. So nikaenda kwa jikoni, my dad akani. No, actually my dad ni mtu mwenye anaelewa. I think my dad understands depression. Because hata yeye ndo alikuwa akiniambia, as long as umesoma and you have the papers, hata ukiwa miaka 40 kazi utapata. But see, wengine they don't understand it. So nikiwa Malaa, Martin called me akaniambia, oh, we have a seminar at Athi River in our church and I would love you to join.
What time was this after?
No, it was after around a day or two. So you can imagine nilikuwa na stress ya kumove, where do I go? So Martin akanipigia, sio ni Mungu. That is God. Okay, me, trust me, everything, me, I credit it to God. Everything that is good that is happening to me, inakonga Mungu. So akaniambia hata ilianza, Martin called me on a Wednesday. So hiyo useme ilikuwa inaanza that Wednesday. Akaniambia hata inaanza leo, inaenda for 4 days mpaka Saturday. Na nataka ujoin. Akaniambia, Martin, aje. Akaniambia because I had told Martin about my predicament. So na akaniambia sawa. Immediately akaniambia utakuja. Akaniambia nitakuja. Hapana, mimi najua utakuja, wewe nakujua. Ufanya hivyo acha na kutumia fare. Akanitumia fare. So nikatoka Malaa straight to Athi River. It was a 4-day seminar. That is where I opened up to people there.
No, you were given a section in the church.
No. There was this moment where on the final day, alikuwa tuambia, if you feel this, if you have experienced this. So I felt that like the pastor was directly talking to. It's like he had seen me spiritually, because if you know you've ever been abused. Actually, as a child, I was sexually abused by an older lady. That was before I even started class. I think nursery. Before I started nursery school, there was a jirani msichana kwa mkubwa. So she did that to me. She could do that to me like kila siku. But you see, at that time you don't see it as an abuse. You see it like, as a child you see it like mchezo tu. And he may affect the how do I put it? My sexual side of like I find myself attracted to to women who are older than me. I find them very attractive. In fact, I find very attractive, but my age, younger age, no. So hiyo kitu imefanya alafu pia imeni affect like design nakonga na sexual urge mbaya. That's me. No, because she could do this every day, kila siku. She will do things that I cannot put in words. No.
Were your parents by this time?
No, ni saa 8 mchana kwa ploti, anakuchukua na kupeleka kwa bafu, unaona. But unaona wewe huoni that it's like you're being abused. Unaona ni kama mchezo, unaona. You see, unaona like, unaona it's like this is what should be happening, unaona. But later on, I remember there was a day mama alikuwa ananiosha. Unamajini mtoto mwenye anaoshwa dola. Sinaona nilikuwa mdogo sana. Then I realized some like pimples on my foreskin, unaona. So akaniuliza, nini imefanyika hapa? Nini? Alafu I think ilikuwa ni kama inakaa iko swollen, alafu ilikuwa ina ooze damu kidogo. Nikamwambia tu mimi nimeanguka. Remember nikakumbuka alikuwa anaosha, nikamwambia mimi nimeanguka. Unaona? So which is not true. So hiyo story iliishia tu hapo. So since then hata nikiwa shule nilikuwa najipata primary unaanza kutamani mwalimu, unaona, it's very strange, but right now nimekuja kujua it is what she did to me. It is because angetaka kuniona na Sanado kwa kuona mimi na yeye, unaona. She's still there. She's still there, but we don't talk. I don't think if akiniona yeye ukumbuka, but nikitumia ukumbuka, unaona. So nikaenda hii seminar. So alikuwa anasema if you've been sexually abused, if you've ever been abused by maybe a parent. My dad, funny part ni my dad hatuko tunaelewananga. We couldn't sit like for 5 minutes with my father. My dad amenipenda I think after graduation. Actually right now na I think I'm his favorite son. Hiyo siwezi kudanganya. But unaona before primary, high school, yani we were like imagine a steam, unaona yenye mtu aipatana yani. There was a time alinipiganga mpaka akaniambia ndale kwa simiti. Unaona? There's a time alinipiganga akavunja hii tambi, so siku anaweza shika. So unaona hizo abuses, your difficult childhood, unaona? Wendi shule, unaona? Alafu coming from a poor family, we could go for labda days without food, unaona? Unaona? Like me, sahi mtu akiniambia mambo ya njaa, mimi naonanga nikawa ukiniambia ujakula like the whole day, naweza kuangalia mimi I can survive on one meal comfortably right now because hiyo ni maisha nimekaa mpaka, unaona, nimeishi mpaka even hata after nikiwa campus. So njaa mimi hainishtuangi. So unaona that difficult childhood, depression, nini. So after that seminar silisha, imeisha Saturday jioni. Where was I going?
Ukamnafukuzwa nini wote after?
No, seminar imeisha, alafu nijua merent nyumba, Martin walikuwa merent nyumba, apartments friends zinaita siju green span ama green span because at the river. Green something apartments hizo. Very apartments mzuri by the. So seminar imeisha, watu wanarudi nyumbani. Brother, where do you go? But there's one thing Martin aliniambia vyesu, aliniambia hizo worries, wacha takuwe sikize tu kenye unaambiwa. God ashajua. Mungu ashajua. So I was there praying hizo siku zote. So on the final day, so mimi nimeisha, so watu wanatoka. Unaona sasa watu wanatoka. So I was like, where am I going? But one thing I swear, nilikuwa nisha hapa. Kutoka hapa Nairobi, kurudi Budalangi, it's only in a casket. Trust me, that is something this time there's no way death is anichezea. Death must just love me and come and hug me. No, there's no way I'm talking natoka hapa naenda. There is no way that unless nikitoka hapa ni na jeneza. But I'm not going back to what I experienced. So nikachukua phone book. I called my friend who tunaishi naye hapa. Akaniambia hiyo tu kuja. Siku job umeshapata job then nikiwa church nilifanyanga interview. Nikiwa church Zoom, nikafanya physical interview on my birthday, that was 2 weeks ago. So kazi naanza kesho, tomorrow Monday. Isn't God great? I keep asking myself, depression yangu imeisha? Because I've never been cured. Insomnia is still there, but is the depression really gone? Will I go to that job with a lot of anxiety? What if I lose this job? What if they sack me? Those are the fears that people. Those are things that in the now akili yangu that like I'm so stressed up. No. What if I don't perform? What if they sack me? Just like where do I go again? No. But the reason why I'm saying this is, you out there who feels that you've reached rock bottom or you've reached the wall. Actually, there's something you can hold on to, because depression is something that does not want you to move forward, does not want you to grow. It deviates your mind from focus and to other things. So if you think that you are out there and you've faced enough, just listen to my story. And you'll know that in this world, I don't believe there's anyone who has suffered, who has seen hell, who has been through hell, who has seen the devil's eyes like me. It's like it's a badge that was printed here, something that I live with. One misfortune after the other, one misfortune after the other. Lose your job, you lose your unborn child, you have a very difficult childhood, you've been abused physically, you've been abused sexually, you've been neglected, neglected by your own family, by friends. You are hopeless, you are homeless, and you are jobless. But here I am, 36 years, still alive. How about you? I just lost your job last month. I've suffered depression, real depression for 8 years. But in reality, I've been depressed all of my life. Thank you. That's my story.
So you said you are starting your job tomorrow.
Yeah.
How ready are you for the outcome? Do you have something? Do you feel like I should go for therapy? This is where I feel like I should change. Should be my turning point.
Yes, I feel that I need counseling. I have anger issues. I'm still bitter with myself and others. I'm not saying that I'm a good person, because I've done things in my life, things that I'm not even proud of, things that I cannot even sit here and say tell you live on television. I'm not saying that I'm a good person. Sometimes I sit down and say I deserve what is going through my life. No. So as from tomorrow, I think I need therapy. Which has to do with my anger, my attitude, and my insomnia. Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning to the end, for watching to the end. You have heard the story of Ronnie, and I believe that the mental health or the mental state of a human being is not something to be neglected. It's not something to be looked down upon. It's something like a country, like you said, we only learn about depression in higher schools or in campus or in sections like psychology sections. But like he has said, depression is something that you need to learn from childhood, because as Ronnie has said, he has lived with depression close to his whole life, but he only noticed like 8 years ago. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Angaza 254 with your host Kashi. Please consider to subscribe. Thank you.